My dad's new wife decided to make me the joke at dinner, and my dad backed her up. He leaned back in his chair and told me, "Stop making a scene." So I stayed quiet. Then I put my phone on the table and watched her face drain. I'm Olivia. I'm 27. My dad remarried a woman I'll call Lena, and she loves polite cruelty, the kind that sounds sweet until you realize you're bleeding. She does it in front of people because an audience makes it safer for her. After the divorce, my dad acted like starting over meant erasing the old life. He stopped asking how I was doing and started asking if I was being difficult. Lena slid into the family like she'd always been there. She called me sensitive and still in my phase, and people laughed because it was easier than correcting her. This dinner was at their place, all warm lighting and expensive plates. My dad sat at the head like he'd been promoted to a better life. Lena sat beside him, perfect hair, perfect smile, perfect aim. My aunt and my cousin were there too, plus a couple of their friends I barely knew. Lena started small. "So, Olivia, still figuring things out?" she asked, like she was genuinely worried. Someone chuckled. She asked about my job and cut me off mid-sentence. Then she laughed softly and said, "Oh honey, that's not really a career, is it?" I looked at my dad. I waited for him to shut it down. He didn't. He sighed like I was the inconvenience and said, "Don't do this. Stop making a scene." The table relaxed. That told me everything. Lena took that as permission. She started talking about herself, of course, about her position and her connections. She said my name louder and joked that maybe one day I'd understand what real success looked like. Even my cousin laughed, like it was easier than being brave, and that's when the heat in my throat went cold, because she was getting details wrong, not little slips, big, confident lies. Months earlier, I'd done contract work for a company in her orbit. I'd seen emails, not gossip, not rumors, actual receipts. I'd saved them, mostly because something about her never felt clean. So I did what my dad wanted. I stayed quiet. I nodded. I let her finish her sentence. I let the laughter fade until all I could hear was forks and breathing. Slowly, I reached into my pocket. Next, I set my phone on the table. Then I pushed it toward Lena's plate. My dad's eyebrows pinched together. Lena laughed. "Are you Googling my job?" I said, "No, I'm correcting it." I tapped the screen and slid it closer. Emails, dates, names, a chain she couldn't talk her way out of. Lena didn't touch the phone. She stared at it like it was radioactive. My aunt leaned forward to read. My cousin stopped smiling like someone hit pause. My dad turned to Lena and said, "What is this?" Lena snapped. "Nothing." She's being dramatic, but her hands were shaking so hard her wine glass rattled. I kept my voice calm. "You tell people you were an executive there. You weren't. You were consulting because you weren't allowed back after what happened at your last firm." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't insult her. I just said the facts and let them sit. Someone asked, "What happened?" Lena told them to mind their business. Nobody laughed this time. Everyone suddenly found their plates fascinating. My dad didn't look at me. He kept looking at her. He stood up fast. Not protective, furious. "Why didn't I know?" Lena's face went bright red. "It didn't matter," she snapped. And that was the moment she realized the room wasn't hers anymore. She grabbed her purse and walked out. The hallway door slammed hard enough to echo. My dad sat back down like his spine had turned to sand. He rubbed his face and stared at the table. Dinner ended early. People made excuses and left in a hurry. My cousin touched my arm at the door and whispered, "I didn't know." I just nodded, because you could have asked. Wouldn't fix the years I spent swallowing my own name. My dad called the next day. His voice was tight. "You humiliated my wife." I said, "She humiliated me first, and you held the mic." He tried. "You didn't have to do it like that." I said, "I didn't have to be quiet either." I went low contact after that. Lena told people I dug into her past, but she stopped taking shots at me. My dad still doesn't apologize, but he doesn't tell me to smile for her anymore. Outside that house, the air felt lighter. Not because I won, because I finally stopped shrinking to fit their script. My dad wanted me quiet, so I was quiet, and the truth did all the yelling for me.